As we come to communion today, I'm reminded of the prophet Isaiah, who talks about how he had this vision of God lifted up, and he realized at that moment, because God was purely holy, all-powerful, and almighty, that for him to be in God's presence alone would be surely death. He laments that he is going to die. And then there's a coal that's taken from the altar of God and touched to his lips. And they say that this has atoned for your sins. It's cleaned you. Up until that point in Judaism, the idea was that God was so holy and far away and set apart that in order for us to be able to be in relationship with God, we had to be pure. So Leviticus is an entire book about how to be and remain pure for the Jewish people so that they could be in relationship with God. But in Isaiah, we see that instead of us dirtying up God, God makes us clean. In Ezekiel, there's this beautiful vision of the temple, the Holy of Holies, water coming from that place and going all throughout the land until it even gets to the Dead Sea. And everywhere that water touches, life springs up and newness springs up and life is happening. And then it gets to the Dead Sea, which is called the Dead Sea because nothing can live there. And the water coming from the temple of God makes it fresh. Then we see Jesus, the human embodiment of holiness. And he does this thing where he touches people with consent that are sick, that are broken, that are demented. And instead of what everybody thought was going to happen, where now he is unclean, he makes them clean. He gives them part of his holiness. He gives them part of his self. You know, I think for some of us, we consider our holiness to be a pair of white pants, which I do not own for obvious reasons. Because you can't wear white pants if you want to be in the world. You can't. You have to make sure nothing touches you. Nothing can touch the white pants, right? That's what the Jewish people consider to be holiness. That once you achieved it, you could not do anything to make it dirty. Instead, Jesus tells us that holiness is not white pants, it's bleach. And anything it touches is going to change. Anything it touches is going to become pure. So as we come to communion today, this is a means of grace. This is one of those coals from the altar of God that when it touches you, when you consume it, it makes you clean because of what Christ has done. And that holiness, that cleansing, you're not going to mess it up. Instead, it's supposed to flow out of you as things of living water comes out of the disciples. And you're supposed to go and spread that out into the world.